I have done a ton of PC builds this year at all different price points and performance levels, but I have to say that out of all those builds, today's gaming PC is not only complete eye candy, but the performance from this system for only $1,400 is absolutely mind-boggling. So the other day I was at a buddy of mine's house and he was telling me that he's kind of in the market for a new gaming PC, and when I asked him what kind of gaming PC he was looking at getting, he had shown me examples of kind of what he was looking at buying on sites like Newegg and Best Buy, Amazon, those kind of places. And what he was showing me was a pretty decent system. You know, they were all fairly decent specs. They were all very similar, but they were all around $1,800 to $2,100. And I was pretty sure that I could build it for a lot less and get the exact same performance. So here is his criteria on what he wants from his gaming PC. He wants it to be an AMD system. He wants it to be able to play every single current title at max settings and at 1440p. And he wants it to be relatively affordable. So what I've pieced together today is a $1,400 gaming PC that's going to match the performance from those $1,800 to $2,100 systems. Oh, and it's not gonna look like a pre-built piece of garbage. It's actually gonna be an extremely beautiful PC. Something to make all your friends jealous. Now, when talking to my buddy, I also asked him if he was okay with using some used parts for his build so that we could save on the money while still getting the performance that he wants, and he said that that was all right. So I turned to eBay to see what I could find as far as motherboard CPU combos go. And what I found was actually a pretty good score. So what I was able to find is this Asus Prime B650 board, and inside of the CPU socket, we have a Ryzen 5 7500F CPU, and I've used this CPU quite a few times in the past, and I'll be honest, I'm gonna continue to use it in future builds because it's an absolute monster for the $135 price tag that you are able to find this CPU for. And the deal was only made sweeter because it came with 32 gigs of DDR5 6000 megatransfers per second RAM. Now, before you come at me and say, Ryan, just because you were able to find this combo deal, that doesn't mean that I'm gonna be able to. That's not necessarily true. I was able to piece together very similar combos to this for a very similar price. I was just able to capitalize on this one by making the gentleman an offer, and he accepted my offer for $280 for this thing. Now, there are only two problems that I have with this motherboard, CPU, and RAM combo, and the first one is that it's not very aesthetically pleasing. This RAM is very basic. It really doesn't even have much of a heat spreader on it, so it doesn't look all that great. And the VRM heat sinks here, they're very minimal. There's not a very good look here, but I have a solution to that we're gonna go over in just a little bit. And the other issue that I have with it is, with the 7500F, this board is just fine. You have enough heatsink here, you won't run into any issues. But if you wanted to upgrade to maybe a beefier CPU, this board may not be suitable for your upgrade. You would probably need to upgrade the board along with the CPU if you wanted to throw like a X3D chip inside of here. But for our $1,400 PC with $2,000 PC performance, this is a good start. Damn it, I never have everything I need. Gotta get my motherboard stand, courtesy of Blind Tech. So why don't we go ahead and skip forward to the bread and butter of today's build. I'm talking about the 5070 Ti here. Now, there was one of two cards that I was considering for today's build. It's either gonna be the 9070 XT from AMD, or it was gonna be the 5070 Ti, because both are fantastic 1440p options and are capable of playing at 4K, depending on which titles you want, and still get an amazing FPS from your system. But I ultimately went with the 5070 Ti because he prefers NVIDIA, even though I think that AMD probably would have been great. But this is a 16 gig card. It's gonna do wonders in getting phenomenal gameplay from our system. This motherboard, CPU, and RAM combo and this GPU right here, it's a win, dude. You're already winning. Now, obviously, this right here is the most expensive piece of our PC, coming in at $779. But with this graphics card paired with this motherboard, CPU, and RAM combo, we're gonna have an absolute monster of a system. And when you factor in how much I paid for this motherboard, CPU, and RAM combo and this graphics card, we get a grand total of $1,059. So that leaves us quite a bit of room for fun extras. Now, for our storage, we are going to be going with my personal favorite, the 1TB Clevcraft Gen 4 NVMe. It's got good read and write speeds. It's all that you're going to need for gaming. Now, 1TB is a small amount these days. You know, people are wanting more like a 2TB for their system, but the best part about this build is that you don't just get one extra M.2, you also have an additional M.2 on the back. So if you wanted to add more storage at any point in time, you absolutely can. Unless it's that back M.2 slot, in which case you'd have to take apart the entire system to put that in, but you can still do it. For power, I decided to go with the VMG 850 by Roswell's 850 watt power supply. I've honestly never used this power supply before, but I've heard pretty decent things. It's definitely better than going with like a Smart Series thermal take power supply. So we're gonna stick with this power supply now, and you know, we shouldn't run into any issues. 850 watts is absolutely enough for today's system. Plus, it's enough for future upgrades if you wanted to get a more powerful GPU in the future. So let's clear a path for probably my favorite item in today's build. This TrophyOvision Thermalright 360mm AIO with the biggest damn screen that I have seen on an AIO. Like, no shit. Check this out. You've got to see just how big this damn screen is. Look at that thing. That's insane. This is huge. That's gonna take up so much space. Now, the reason I love this AIO so much is because I dislike the look of this motherboard. And if this is gonna be right over all of the stuff that I dislike, then we're in the money, man. I'm not gonna see any of the things that I hate, because I'm gonna have this beautiful screen covering the entire thing. Now, I've never used this AIO, and I am extremely excited to see how well it performs. It's unique, and I love unique things. And I know you do too. That's why you subscribe to this channel, because I show you unique things all the time. And if you're not subscribed, then I'm now sad. You should subscribe. You should be a member, because I'll miss you if you're not. Second to last, we have some cable extensions. Nothing too crazy, just black and gray. You know, a lot of times people like to go with like a specific color set, but I feel like if I decided to, like, let's say go with orange cable extensions, then I'm limited on what I can set the ARGB to inside of our case. So I just stick with something neutral like black, white, or like black and gray. Just, you know, simple stuff. Now, this is a very cheap item. 20 bucks for some cable extensions should always be something that you're planning on putting in a build, especially if it's a pretty decently expensive one. And lastly, we have the DPW90M case by Dark Flash. I'll never get why, like, we can't come up with more original names. Who is memorizing that? Now, I picked this case, one, because it's an MATX case, and it's the MATX board, so it'll fit really well. And two, it gives you that, like, Montech King vibe with the rounded glass in the front, so you don't have anything restricting your view of everything inside of your case. It's gonna give us a fantastic look. It's gonna be very unique looking, and it's gonna house all of our stuff really, really well. Now, typically in our videos, we do like a build montage. I put on some pretty kick-ass music, or at least kick-ass music that I think that you guys would like, and we go ahead and build this damn thing. And today is absolutely no different. We're gonna be doing the exact same thing. So let's go ahead, let's throw on some tunes, and let's build this damn thing.
One of these days, you're gonna get paid. Better watch your back. It's gonna get personal. I don't. You don't. You know I don't. personal.
So I think my plan to cover the not so beautiful looking motherboard with this absolutely humongous screen worked out really well because I'm not paying attention to anything other than this screen. Now our total build cost for this system right here actually only came out to $1,415, which is an absolute value for the performance we're getting from this system. And if you don't believe me, here's some gameplay from this beautiful system. Starting out our testing with some Black Ops 6, I got a chance to relive just a little bit of how bad I am at shooters, but with the game completely maxed out, we're getting an average of 179 FPS. Sticking with the shooters, I played Doom the Dark Ages at the game's Ultra Nightmare settings, and we're getting an average of 119 FPS. Oh, just so you guys know, there's no frame gen enabled in any of our gameplay testing, and everything that we tested was done at 1440p. Now, in Claire Obscura Expedition 33 at the game's max settings, we're getting a very beautiful average 116 FPS. In Space Marine 2 Ultra settings and ray tracing turned on, we're getting an average of 84 FPS. In God of War Ragnarok, we're getting an absolutely stunning 189 FPS. Which was amazing to see. The game is so well optimized. And lastly, I played Wukong in the cinematic setting with ray tracing set to high, and we were getting an average of 83 FPS, which is awesome to see because this game in cinematic mode is brutal on the system. I also did a time spy run just to see how well the system would score, and we received a score of 20,898. Now keep in mind, all of that gameplay plus the time spy run was all done at factory settings. Nothing inside of this system is overclocked, even though there is a ton of headroom to overclock this system. The CPU never went over 67 degrees Celsius at any point in time, and the GPU never went over 72 degrees Celsius, so we've got lots of room to overclock this system. There isn't anything wrong with more performance. Please excuse me if you hear my children, they're acting like absolute jackals. Now obviously this is a PC building video, so somebody in the comments is gonna tell me about how I didn't do something that they would have done, and that's fine because everyone has their own way of doing things and everyone has their own opinions, but I think that this thing is absolutely phenomenal. But if I did have one critique, something that I would want to change, it would be the motherboard. I think that it would be better to go with like a full ATX board. You can get them on eBay for $88 to $99, depending on, if you can do the, make an offer, or you can catch a good winning bid on, a motherboard. I would definitely switch out the motherboard for maybe a more premium one, so that way you have the ability to swap in a more powerful CPU in the future, if that is something that you wanted to do for this system. I think I just said ATX board. It's MATX, so you'd have to find an MATX board or get a bigger case. Now, I'm sure that there are a lot of you guys watching right now who are a lot like me. When anytime you step foot into a Walmart or a Best Buy, you really can't help yourself but take a look at their pre-built section. And I'm gonna be honest with you, anytime I take a look at them, I just see a bunch of proprietary crap for a large amount of money. Not always, there are some good deals, but the second you want a really high quality gaming PC, goodness, they are going to charge you like crazy. And it would suck to buy that when this $1,400 absolute beast of a build exists. Please build this rather than buy that. You'd be so much happier. Now, if you did have a little bit of fun here with me today, I would love it if you hit the subscribe button. It's right down below somewhere there, and it means the world to me. I love making new friends, and well, aw shucks, I'd love to see you here for the next video. And while you're there, hit the like button. It's free for you, and it means the world to me. And as always, no matter where you are in the world, I hope you're having the most fantastic day, truly. And I'm gonna see you right here for the next video. I almost just fell.